Yes friends, today I am taking my next prediction, that is prediction number 4. Okay, because some of the people have asked me, or okay, in the question queries, my colleagues, my friends, my students, number of people have again asked me that what is the actual time of exit of COVID-19. Okay, about COVID-19 I have just predicted in the prediction number 3, in which I talked about that what was the entry time, how the entry of any epidemic is possible, what is the condition for that. So that I have already discussed about entry and exit, but exit was not clear to the people, so that let me now further clarify this. Okay, for entry I have talked about it, what are the malefic conditions of the planets when this kind of activity can happen, this kind of epidemic can spread throughout the world. Okay, so that I have already talked about. Please see my prediction number 3, in which I have taken one by one all those, then I combined all the 3 predictions of mine, I think 3 or 4. Okay, continue 3 prediction number 3, A, B, C, like that. Okay, on all that complete one prediction also I have shown on the YouTube. Okay, uploaded upon the YouTube. So now this in prediction number 4. Now I'm taking this from next point of view. What is the next point of view? And I will compare them both. Okay, these 2 point of view from India. I mean Indian Independence Day, the horoscope of India Independence Day, when India became independent or India got independence. At that time, what was the horoscope that I have already talked about? Okay, given by Pandit Haridev Shastri Sharma Trivedi. Okay, so that was his name, very famous person in those days at the time of independence of India. Okay, so when India became independent, at that time Pandit Haridev Sharma Trivedi casted the horoscope, and according to that horoscope, what were the condition. And I'm not going to talk about what are the ominous points in this horoscope, because at the time of independence, as you know about, everyone knows about, because the people were went from one place to another place. Okay, from India to Pakistan, Pakistan to India, and in between the number of people, lakhs of people were killed. Okay, innocent people were killed. What are the condition in those days? The same condition, I mean, I'll just talk about this, but this condition, the same condition is nowadays, because Rahu and Ketu, in this case, this is Independence Day horoscope, India's horoscope, Independence Day horoscope. I'll talk about that, how that same kind of situation also appeared during this period, because these days also people transferred from, went from one place to another place. Number of people from one city, from one metro city went to the native places. Okay, from Maharashtra to Bihar, from Maharashtra to UP, all number of places. Okay, from Delhi to other the native places. So this is what transfer of the people. I mean, people migrated from one place to another place, to the native places. So this kind of activity also happened at the time of independence. Okay, so when India became independent, right at the time of independence, India, the position, how people migrated from one place to another place. Okay, from Pakistan to India, India to Pakistan, and a lot of people were killed during this period. When the people returned from Pakistan to India, number of people were killed. Indians didn't kill anybody. People who were going from India to Pakistan, nobody killed them. But people who came from Pakistan to India, number of them were killed. Okay, so this is how lakhs of people were killed. So that situation was very alarming. The same kind of situation happened here also. Okay, and what are the conditions? What are the Independence Day horoscope showing that kind of conflict in those days? And at the moment also, number of people have been killed, I mean, because of this epidemic. Now, what is the exit time I'm talking about? Nowadays, number of people, as I just told you about that, what is the exit time when the Jupiter became direct. Okay, and other planets also become direct. Still, Mars is retrograded. Okay, what are the conditions of retrograde? I'll take one by one. Okay, then I'll talk about the same situation because before independence. Okay, before independence of India became independent. In those days, India was divided into a number of kingdoms. Right? During those days, what was the horoscope which was being dealt by Indian Vedic astrologers? So Vedic astrologers were using the horoscope with Capricorn ascendant, with Capricorn Lagna, Capricorn Makar Rasi in Lagna, right, or Capricorn in the Lagna. This horoscope with Capricorn Lagna was given by, or ascendant was given by Varahamihir, very famous astrologer come astronomer. Okay, when he was during the period of Megasthenes, etc. Megasthenes came to India, and he has talked about a lot of things about Varamihir. Because Varamihir was a very good astrologer, very good astronomer. He has talked about a lot of things regarding the planetary conjunctions, right? And he is very famous person, very famous astrologer in those days. In the Ujjain he was staying at the in Madhya Pradesh nowadays, at Ujjain city. Okay, so during that period he was very famous astrologer, and he used to talked about India's conditions, or Indian kingdom's conditions, India's whatever, killing of innocent people, any epidemic, etc. He was talking about using the horoscope with Capricorn ascendant. I have taken that also here. I'll talk about that, what the present situation, present transit time, and how the planetary conjunctions are these days in that horoscope with Capricorn Lagna. But Capricorn Lagna is also talking about the same kind of situation, right? Okay, both are showing that epidemic type of situation, right? And nowadays people are being treated. So number of patients is decreasing, or is going to be decreased. There is no doubt about this. As I told you that exit of COVID-19 will start from that period which I talked about, that when Jupiter became direct. Now Jupiter became direct from September. Let me talk about this here. 1409 September. I talked about to 2022. 2011 up to 20th November. Okay, so from 14th September last month, this is October. Today is 23rd October. I have taken this horoscope. Okay, I have taken the present transit of the planets, and that I'll talk about that, how the present transit of the planets, okay, or today's transit of the planets is talking about what is the condition of that, and how the number of patients is going to be decreased, and when this kind of situation will come, that when people will be just feeling safe, or there is no epidemic in those days. So that kind of situation I'll talk about. Okay, so what is the exit time, and how this exit of any epidemic is possible, what is the condition for that, I'll talk about them in detail. Okay, so please have the patience and just see. First, note down all these things, all the this present Vimshotri Dasha I talked about. Present Vimshotri Dasha. Of this Vimshotri Dasha or time period can be calculated when we know exact horoscope. This exact horoscope, this time period is based on the Independence Day's horoscope. Because Varahamihir's horoscope, when he casted it, when he framed that horoscope, we are not knowing with the time, date, or place of birth, maybe that Ujjain by there in those days, because he was staying in Ujjain, right, Madhya Pradesh. Now, but the problem is that what are the exact conditions of the planets in those days? Only we know that Capricorn is the ascendant. Capricorn 10th sign is in the ascendant. I have taken here. This is I have taken India's horoscope. Second, this is second condition. So let me take one by one. The first condition is according to the present day. Independence Day's horoscope. What is the Independence Day's horoscope talked about? What the conditions when India, or we will feel safe, that yes, now number of people is being treated in large number, number of people have now, okay, a lot of people are being 83% or 80% up to 90% going to be is being treated. Okay, they are returning to their home, okay, after suffering for COVID-19, right? So this kind of situation is coming, but still the problem is there. In some places, people are patients are coming, or new patients are coming daily, regularly, who were not initially declared. Number of leaders are coming, but the problem is that position, that's very light position there is still, because Mars is retrograded these days. When it will be direct, then the aspect, what is the aspect here? Now let me talk about. So please just first note down all these events. Let me just take this separately. And I'm not here, let me stay here, so stand here, so, and just note down the whole horoscope. every event of this, and I'll talk about one by one. Okay, okay. This is just a momentary thing. Now let me tell you what is the position of the planets these days. Okay, and what is the condition nowadays. Now here this is the India's Independence Day's horoscope, which I have already talked about. Now see here, Rahu is exalted in the Lagna. Ketu is also exalted in the Lagna, also in the 7th house. So Rahu, Ketu, they are exalted position according to Parashar or Parashar. Maharshi Parashar says that Mars Rahu is exalted in Taurus, okay, second sign, and Ketu is exalted in Scorpio. But according to other view, there is another, point of view of other rishis. Those rishis say that Mars, this Rahu is exalted in Gemini, and Ketu exalted in Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, 9th sign. So this is the difference. But they are still both Ketu, Rahu and Ketu. They are positive in these two axes. Taurus sign and Scorpio sign, as well as in Gemini and Sagittarius sign. So that is not the problem. I take always that this is the exaltation for Rahu, and this is Sagittarius is exaltation for Ketu. That situation arrived here in June 2019, and I think 24th June I have talked about that. At that time, the degrees of Mars, Rahu, Ketu, and Saturn. They were just going to be equivalent, or just equal degrees they were achieving. At that time, this spread of COVID-19 happened, okay, or that occurred. After that, this has spread all over the world. Now, position is that now present situation is what, and when this will be out from this, or how this. I know that people will not forget this event, as people are still not forgetting the Independence Day's position when India and Pakistan were divided at that time over the condition of the people. They were migrated from India to Pakistan, Pakistan to India. Number of people, refugees came here in Delhi. Okay, number of people were sheltered here, and I have a lot of talks with them. Number of refugees from Pakistan to India, and they had a talk with me, and I have taught number of children of them. They were just talking about when I met their parents, the student parents, and they talked about their sufferings at the time of their parents, and when their parents with them came to India and Delhi, they were without any house, without anything. They were a lot of suffering by there initially, but after that they settled down. Now they are even government officials nowadays. Okay, their children are now prospering a lot. Now condition is this. So that kind of situation arrived in those days at the time of independence. What is the situation there, and what is the situation now? Now let me take the present situation, right, or epidemic situation that I have already talked about. That what was the entry point, or how this epidemic entered, was the situation when the epidemic type or disease or anything, or that is very ominous period or ominous time when that situation arrived, when Rahu, okay, with Mars and the Ketu with Saturn. This, okay, they are opposite to each other, and Mars aspect in Saturn, Saturn aspect in Rahu, as well as Mars and Saturn both are enemical, right? Both are enemies to each other. One is neutral, other is enemy. So light enemy, or we can say the bitter enemy, but they are enemies. Whenever that situation arrived, whenever Mars aspect Saturn or Saturn aspect Mars, then that they are not, what you call, benefit to the living things. They are just going to kill, going to murder them, they are going to kill them. They are not, for living things, they are very dangerous position. Their aspects are very, very dangerous. Because of aspect of Mars from Saturn, Saturn upon Mars, the situation of killing of the innocent people just mostly happens. Okay, that kind of situation whenever arrives, that happens always. So now that is the situation. Now come to the point that what is the situation here. So I have taken here. This is just already I have talked about what is Independence Day's horoscope. This is date 15/08/1947. Right, this date at night time. What is the night time? 00:15 minutes and 00 seconds. This I have taken time. This is time of birth. I have taken here time. Sorry, this is time here. So that I have taken here time. Okay, and this time which I have taken here 00 hours and 15 minutes only. 15 minutes 00 hours. This is 15 minutes and 00 hours. Okay, so this is time here. Time I have taken here, and this is date. This date, our place is this Delhi. So place is Delhi. So place Delhi, time 00 15 minutes and 00 seconds. And then 1508, 15th August 1947. The day was at night time. Okay, day was 15th of August, but at night time. Night time of 15th, 14th ending and starting of 15th. But night time. So that time was chosen by Pandit. I've already talked about here his name. Pandit Haridev Sharma Trivedi, right? Haridev Shastri Sharma Trivedi. His name was this. Haridev Sharma Shastri Trivedi, right? So that was his surname. Two surnames were there, Sharma and Trivedi both. Right, so that is his name. Now comes to point. So this horoscope was of that time, right? This is the Lavansh or Lavans of D9 chart. Now in D9 chart, whenever the position of any, for example, ascendant lord, which is Venus is here with Saturn, Venus together. Moon is also there, Mercury is there. So with Moon, so 5 planets are there. Even Sun is there. There are 5 planets here: Moon, Mercury, Saturn, Venus, Sun. When this kind of conjunction or combination or planets happens, then the problem is with Venus. If I take the Lagna lord, which is ascendant lord, right? And second lord is Mercury. So Mercury is with Sun here, right? Sun and Mercury friendly, undoubtedly, but Moon and Mercury enemical and friend. For Moon, Mercury is friend, but for Mercury, Moon is enemy. That is how situation is there. But Saturn here, Venus, they are friendly. Both are friendly. So, and whenever Moon is with Venus, right? And with number of planets are there, then position of that thing or that native will be improved upon. Okay, so lot of promotion, lot of things will be happening. That country, now this is country's horoscope, right? India's horoscope. India will be promoted, will get a lot of status. Even whatever the problems are, because this conjunction is between Rahu and Ketu. Some people say that this is what you call within the Rahu Ketu axis, all these Guru chant, this is known as Kalsarp yoga or something, but I do not consider Kalsarp yoga as a yoga. There is a struggle, undoubtedly struggle is there, but because of this struggle, promotions are also there. The reason is in the Navams, but the position of Saturn and Venus both are friendly in Saturn's sign. Okay, Saturn is in own sign. Saturn is in his own sign. Venus is friendly with Saturn. So Saturn with Venus, so Venus is which is Lagna lord, is with friendly sign, friendly house. So that means improvement of the this native is there. Means country's improvement is being shown here. In friendly sign, lot of prosperity will be there with Venus. Venus is with Saturn. Both are friendly sign. Friendly planets, and this is friendly sign. Saturn is in his own sign, right? So the improvement is there. So when in the once D9, when from the ascendant Lagna position of the planets is improving in the Navan sign, in the Navan chart, then the improvement of that native will be there. So improvement means position of the native will be improved. So native means the country, in this case India, will be improved because this is positive sign. Second thing is Mars here was in Mercury sign. Mercury is enemy to Mars, and for Mars Mercury is enemy, right? But for Mercury Mars is neutral. So not a bitter enemy, but light enemy, or very little enemy, you may say. Okay, so enemy ka sign is this. So Gemini is enemy ka sign for Mars, but no problem because this is very light enemy, not bitter enemy. So, but that kind of situation is here. Now, present situation is what? Here Mars is in Pisces, right? Mars is, this is the transit today, on 23rd August, 23rd October, today is 23rd October, right? 23rd October, where I have taken transit today. This is transit today, I have taken here, transit today. Transit means what the present moment of the planets. The present day, or today, Mars, Rahu is in Taurus sign, exalted as the native, this India Independence Day horoscope showing Rahu is in Taurus sign. Today also Rahu is in Taurus sign, Ketu is in Scorpio sign, Rahu Ketu axis in Taurus sign, Scorpio sign, undoubtedly. Venus is debilitated. Here Venus is debilitated in Cancer sign, but its degree is, I think, crossed over. That degree is still not reached up to the, because whenever Venus is, and Venus is aspected by Mars also, so the Lagna, here Mars and Venus both are neutral. Now in this case, Venus is being aspected by Mars, so this also shows that there is something, air formation, still condition is not improved, completely is not improved, right? When Venus will come to his own sign, the 6th house in the Libra sign, when Venus will come here, Venus will transit to the 7th sign, the Libra sign, which is its own sign. Then improvement of the condition of the patient will be improved. A lot of recovery will be there, or treatment of the patient will be there. Okay, so a lot of improvement will be there when Venus will come into its own sign. But still Venus is crossed over the, this debilitation degree. So what is debilitation degree for Venus? That Venus, if debilitation sign is being crossed upon, then there is improvement. So improvement there, but it is being aspected with Mars here. Mars in this situation, in this Pisces sign, is up to what period, up to what date, and when Mars is now still Mars is also aspecting this fourth aspect of Mars, because 1, 2, 3, 4. So Mars is aspecting the 2nd house here, because Mars is in Pisces here. From Pisces 1, 2, 3, 4. The 2nd house is being aspected by Mars, right? And due to its retrogression, Mars is also aspecting the previous house, means 10th house is also being aspected by Mars. Whenever retrogression is there of any planet, when planet is retrograde, it means Vakri. At the Vakri period, Mars or any planet is aspecting the previous house also. So Mars is aspecting the Kumbh Rasi also, the Aquarius sign is also. Means this 10th house is also being aspected. There is here also, because this is enemical sign, Saturn and Mars, enemical, not bitter enemy, but light enemy. Means Venus is for Saturn, Mars is enemy, but for Mars, Saturn is neutral. So both are bitter, not bitter enemy, but light enemy, but enemy is there. So they are enemical. So when Mars aspects the Aquarius sign as well as Gemini also having not like bitter enemy, but light enemy. This is enemical sign. This is also enemical sign. So Mars is aspecting these two signs. 4th aspect, because Mars is having 3 aspects, 7th aspect, and it's because this is retrogression. Now in this case, because of retrogression, the planets are having double aspects. Whatever initially they were aspecting, there are 3 aspects of Mars: 4th aspect, 8th aspect, 7th aspect. So this Mars is aspecting this Venus also, 7th aspect, and this 8th aspect, Libra sign, which is the disease house. The 6th house is known as disease house. Mars is aspecting 7th house also. In this case, the 6th house also, 7th sign. So 6th house also, Mars aspecting. It means 6th house is for disease. Here still diseases are there. This disease is not so much improved upon, but still, reason is why improving? Because Mars and Venus both are exchanging the houses. So this is known as debilitation is cancelled. Debilitation of Venus is being cancelled. Why? There is exchange ratio. This is known as exchange ratio. Why? Because Venus is in Mercury sign. This is Virgo sign. Virgo sign is of Mercury. So Venus is placed in Mercury sign, 6th sign, means Virgo sign of Kanya Rasi, and Mercury is in Tula Rasi or Libra sign, 7th sign. 7th sign and 6th sign, they are having their owners replaced with each other. I am sitting in your house, or you are sitting in my house. This is known as exchanger of yoga. Why? Because Venus is in Mercury sign and Mercury is in Venus sign. So both are having exchanger of yoga. So this is debilitation is cancelled. So we cannot say that Venus is going to be is debilitated because debilitation is being cancelled. Okay, this is known as Niche Bangraj yoga or debilitation is cancelled. But still Mars is aspecting Venus, but Venus and Mars both are neutral. This is not so much animical, but still Mars aspect on Venus is still there. So this is a bit influenced, right, or bit animical is there. So that means even if it is neutral, Mars aspecting this, Mercury is also aspecting because Mercury is retrograded here. Mercury is aspecting its own sign. That means that is Niche Bangraj yoga because exchange of place is there, exchange of houses is there by Venus and Mercury. Okay, this is exchange of yoga. Because of that, this Niche Bangraj is there. So Lagna is being protected by Venus because Venus is still exalted. Exaltation is there because Niche Bangraj is cancelled or debilitation is cancelled. So in this way, Lagna is safe. Rahu is also exalted in the Lagna. Rahu and Venus both are friend. They say that why Rahu and Venus are friend? Because Rahu is known as disciple of Venus. Venus is Shukracharya or Shukra. Rahu is a Rakshas demon. Demon is a disciple of Venus. Okay, Venus is known as guru or teacher of the demons. And Rahu is here. Venus is Venus is friend of Rahu. And Rahu is in exaltation Lagna. So Lagna is being protected. But even then, because Venus is in this case, Niche Bangraj yoga, Niche is there, still debilitation is there, but debilitation is cancelled. But that's a bit affliction is there. We can say a bit affliction. We cannot say that debilitation is cancelled, so because of that nothing will happen. But still, when we say that somebody is fallen into a pit, right, and in that pit he has found something, gold coin or something. He has obtained a gold coin in the pit, right? A person fell into a well, and in the well was dried, but when he went there in the well, he got something golden, coin or etc. He achieved something positive. This is what the situation is here. In Venus or any planet is debilitation, debilitated, and debilitation is cancelled. That situation arises. Even it will be afflicted, but that affliction will give fruits will be positive. That affliction gives its benefit into return. That is what debilitation is given. Right? So this debilitation is cancelled. Now Ketu both are exalted and exalted. Now this Mars is because of Mars only. Mars is retrograde these days. Because of this retrogression, and still Mars is aspecting second house. Second house is your family, close family. Means if country's horoscope is there, this is country's horoscope. And this second house, which is having Mars here, and Mars is still aspecting the same kind of situation which is still there. For here, at the independence time, Mars was in the second house, okay, in Gemini, which is Mercury sign. Okay, Mercury and Gemini both are not bitter enemy, but enemy. So this is enemical sign. Mars is there. Because of that, innocent were killed at the time of Independence Day. When India became independent, number of innocent citizens of India were killed during migration from India to Pakistan to India. So this is due to Mars affliction here, and Saturn is in this situation. Saturn is aspecting his own sign. Saturn is Yoga planet, so it's very beneficial for the Lagna undoubtedly because this is with Lagna Lord also, and this improvement is there. So from that recovery was there. Recovery is possible or was possible in those days. Similarly here, recovery is possible. Why reason? The reason is Saturn is still in its own sign, in Capricorn. And Saturn is running these days direct motion, not retrograde motion, but direct motion. So Saturn is in these days in its own sign. Okay. So for ascendant it is positive because Saturn is Yoga planet, is lord of central position and Trikona position. When any planet is Yoga, that is, it is owning the two houses, a central position and one Trikona position. For example, fifth lord and fourth lord, fifth lord and Lagna lord.